Hello, foodie beauties.
Hey guys, hey, how are you?
Well, today I have a meal from my kitchen. So I'll explain in a minute, but first to drink I have some Diet Pepsi. And I have a salad here from my diet kit, my meal kit, which I added a little bit of shredded mozzarella. I have this soup here. I made the soup myself. Homemade butternut squash soup. So I'll insert here how I made it. Alright, so the squash are finished. I put them in the oven for maybe an hour and 10 minutes on 425 degrees. They seem very done. I'm going to cut them open and make a soup out of it. Okay, now I'm sauteing some red onion, green onion, spring onion, and some garlic in some olive oil. Okay, so I added about 4 to 5 cups of water, and I don't really measure to be honest, but and some chicken stock, 2 cubes, Maggi. Now, of course, there's some steps missing. I basically just added the squash after that was already cooked, and then I just blended everything, and I love this soup. Remember I had the pumpkin parmesan soup from that one meal weeks ago, so this is, I love it. Okay, so I have to eat this because it will go bad. This is breakfast croissant. Which I didn't have for breakfast. And from the diet meal kit, I think it has like chicken salad on it. And then I just have this like pasta. It's like macaroni and spaghetti with olives. In Arabic, olive is zaytun. And some chicken sausage and some chicken and some, it smells really good. Tomato sauce, I put parm on it. And this is looks like a mini saffron cake. I can smell rose water in it. So, bismillah. I'm gonna have some of my yummy soup. I tried it. I put some salt, pepper, and some turmeric. That's the only spices and herbs I put in it. With the flavor of the spring onions. I didn't have leeks, so I used spring onion. Now,
Yum.
it's like a pomegranate dressing. Pomegranate syrup almost tastes like, pomegranate molasses to me tastes like balsamic vinegar a little bit when you mix it with vinegar.
I think I've made a phenomenon about shaking salads.
So again, I don't always feel like eating out, honestly, especially lately, as I'm getting more into the intuitive eating. I see a lot of people joking about that. She intuitively felt like eating half a pizza. Okay, I had 3 slices. If you Google, that's the norm for people to eat. And yeah, I intuitively wanted pizza. Exactly. That's exactly how it works. I could have easily binged. Okay, me binging, that's the difference right there. A binge would be me eating the whole pizza and then more. But I had 3 slices and stopped when I was full. So actually, yes, that was...
The idea is to learn how to eat pizza normally, not avoiding it entirely.
It's actually very good progress. All right, so there's dill. I'm making a big deal about the dill. That's very good. The croissant is good. This food is really delicious. I didn't put a mountain of parm. Bay leaf. So they cook all of their meals. They prepare all their meals, which I like. That's really good. So yeah, sometimes I'll order out, sometimes I won't, but I'm gonna have dinner with you guys. I know people were saying, I wanted to talk a bit about the policies of eating disorder policy of YouTube. So if you look it up, which I have, to avoid being ignorant on the subject. By the way, the soup is like sweet a little bit. I think it's more tailored to anorexia. And because they have clauses that specifically talk about glorifying it, like not eating, body shaming weight in regards to eating disorders and things like that. The wording was interesting, but there's nothing in there about binge eating. They don't specifically name eating disorders, but at the same time, they do mention that they want to encourage people to continue to share their stories. So me talking about my eating disorder and showing my struggles and how I'm choosing to eat in recovery is all considered sharing my story. Saying, hey guys, come binge with me. Number 4. I was lonely one night. I was living by myself. This was one of the times when I lived with my gross roommate. The one that, wore holy underwear, listened to Evanescence, and just ate garlic bologna all day. I was really desperate and lonely, and I was really, really desperate. I was having a craving. I had no food. I was really, didn't have much money back then, and so I got desperate and called one of my lovers. I won't say which one, but I might not even remember which one. Oh, yes, I do. And anyway, this is bad. This is like low-key prostitution, but I offered him foreplay if he would come over and bring me a couple of Whoppers. I think it was Whopper Wednesday, and he got there, and I was so mad. It gets worse. I was so mad and pissy that he forgot the zesty sauce for my onion rings that I only let him squeeze my boobs. So number 5. So a while ago, like years and years ago, McDonald's had this like cheeseburger and burger sale. I think cheeseburgers were 69 cents and hamburgers were 59 cents. And I was like psyched, as like, a big person, and just in love with food. I called my skinniest friend I could find and, said, let's go get some burgers. Well, when we got there, I asked her to order 8 burgers and she had one. Number 6 is a recent addition. I recently drove, I told you about this in a previous video, I drove pretty close to 200 kilometers each way, so like a total of 4 hours approximately to get the type of food I wanted. I heard of this specific food that I saw somewhere on social media, I can't even remember, and it just like, I could not forget about it. So like, that's like when I obsess, like when I see a food that I really want, I like obsess over it and do anything in my power to get it. And yeah, so I drove that far, you know, like my car could have broken down, I would be stuck in the middle of the highway in the dark. And I'll never glorify a binge. I'm also not eating a dangerous amount of food, which in that case, compared to most mukbangers, I mean, they would have to get rid of all mukbangers, thin or fat. But even competitive eaters, that's not binge eating. Binge eating is a psychological disorder. It's not just how much. People who overeat don't necessarily have binge eating disorder. That's where it gets into the semantics and key points here. Maybe you think a meal is for 800 people, but it's not, okay? Like my video where I was eating a salad and a side of sweet potato fries, someone was like, oh nice, you're glorifying a binge eating disorder by eating for a family of 8. Like if you're feeding your family a few side fries and you're splitting a single salad, like somebody should call the freaking protective services on you for underfeeding your family, because that's, I'm not saying go do that because some people will get that idea. Don't do it, but I'm just using that as an example. That's like, I mean, come on. That's not family food. That's like individual. Give me a break. So I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I have a right to talk about my journey on my channel. I also have a right to eat what I want and eat on camera, because the very thing I'm trying to avoid is this negative attitude towards food as an overweight person. That shame of, what are you eating on camera for? You're eating way too much. That perpetuates eating disorders. So, yeah. Say what you want. It's been working for me. You know, I'm not trying to be sassy. I'm just trying to be informative. Like, it's so good. Wow. So what are you guys having for dinner? We're pretty much just using the cutlery. Stella had a pretty good kitchen setup, you know, for the size of his old place. His bachelor pad. I liked it there. It was cozy. So that's the post. You can read it yourself. I can put a link to it if I remember. But on YouTube with the eating disorder. And I honestly think they were partly forced to add a clause like that because of all the complaints and petitions they were getting about Eugenia Cooney and a lot of pro-Anna sites and stuff like that. She's more influential to young people because, let's face it, I don't have many young people watching me. Maybe childish adults, but not young people. Like I said, you can think that you've seen a binge on my channel. You haven't. Not once. I've overeaten, but so does anyone who does a mukbang. And it's also relative to how much the person ate for the rest of the day, which YouTube has no idea. So who are they to say, we're going to demonetize your channel unless you eat 1,500 calories in your channel?
Karen.
They can't do that. But if you're under eating and like, I hate my body, I want to starve myself, that kind of thing, I love my body. I love my body because God made me the way I am. I know I don't want to harm it with food, but again, my relationship with food has been disordered for many years. By the way, I don't know why people like to put my behavior under a microscope and label it as good Muslim or not. Like, whether you're Muslim or not, if you're a human being, you should try to act nice. Just because you're not Muslim doesn't give you a pass to be an ass. You know? Like, these are rules that it's between me and God. Like, my sins are not for you to pick apart. You know? Like, a lot of people who judge me are Christian. Like, you have the same rules, almost. You know? Just because I'm Muslim and I believe in Allah doesn't mean I'm not human. And I don't make mistakes. And I don't have issues. And, you know? I like the salads. They're growing on me. Okay, I don't know. I think this is saffron cake, but I smell cardamom and rosewater, which are very popular ingredients. Oh, I'm actually feeling like I'm going to be stuffed after this. I'm going to be satisfied. But it's nice and moist. Let's try it. I can taste the cardamom. It's a spicy saffron cake. Love Arabic desserts. Wow, that was a filling meal. Oh, maybe because I ate breakfast and lunch in one. We have a lot of food here, so especially after my grocery haul. I made the soup. I didn't think, usually I let fruits and vegetables go just waste, you know, because I don't cook them in time. So I made the soup. I have to roast some tomatoes and garlic and make a dakous or tomato sauce. Add to things. What else do I have to make? I want to make these potato sticks. I keep seeing. I know it's a viral thing. I don't think it's viral, but you boil potatoes and then you mash them and put like cornstarch and cheese and stuff. Then you freeze the mixture, like you make it into a block. Freeze it for a bit so it's easy to cut. Then you cut it up and fry them.
And they're like potato sticks, crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. They look really good. Anyway, I guess that's it for this video. So
I feel like a pig, but you know what? Oink, oink.